For the last 3 or 4 years, well, I started rapping in 2012. But anywho, for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been getting posed this question: Jarrell or Rell, why don't you preach or teach hell 24/7? Or, yo, every time I hear you teach or every time I hear you speak, you don't really speak about hell too much, or you don't really teach about hell too much. All you really talk about is love and grace, and when I listen to your songs, all I really hear is love and grace, or whatever else, or whatever. And there's two reasons why, alright? The first reason is very biblical, and it's heavy into my theologies concerning the gospel. This video is not for that. I'll tackle that in another video. My second reason is very practical, it's very logical, it's a more relatable answer, and that's what I'm gonna lead off with in this video. First of all, let's get this out the way. Concerning the gifts of the church, we all should know, I guess, that scripture from Ephesians down below. Check it out on your own time, or check it out right now if you want to. But some people look at the gifts as levels. Like, as soon as I come from a teacher, now I'm gonna graduate to a pastor. And then after a pastor, I'm gonna graduate to apostle. And after apostle, so forth. But I more so look at it as, instead of a vertical listing, it's more of a horizontal listing. A team. You have your pastors, you have your evangelists, you have your apostles. We're all on the same mission, but we do different things. All my Christian artists and all my Christian rap artists, we should understand that we're no different than, what's mentioned in Ephesians. So we both play on the same team, but our roles are different. Nothing's better than the other. But the question is, why do you rap the way you rap? Why do you only speak about grace, and why do you only speak about love? Here's my, answer. Basically is this. If you know me, you know where I'm at all the time. Alright? The community that I'm around is either one, music, two, basketball. Alright? If it's not music and the people I'm around with music, it's with basketball. And all my hoopers know out there that there's certain type of people when you go out to play ball, especially if it's outside in the outdoor court. So in my community, there's certain types of people. There's people who are Christians, and there's some who are not. You get what I'm saying? There's people who believe, and there's some people who don't believe. There's people who are atheists, there's people that are smart, there's people that ain't too smart. At the end of the day, it's all different types of people is what I'm trying to get at. Now, when I go to the court and say something may happen to me, boom, I get hit. People look at how I react because they know what I'm about. But when I don't react and I do certain things where I might get slapped across the face or whatnot, and I don't really react, I may get upset, but I don't react in a way that the normal person would react. Somebody will come up to me and ask me after the game, yo, why didn't you react? And because of who I am, we get into the gospel some type of way. In my beginning days, I would get into the gospel and I'd go into hell, and I started to notice something about their mindset. They had the mindset of hopelessness. What I mean is this: they did not care when I was talking about hell, because they started to say things like, yo, I'm in hell already, or yo, I'm going to hell anyway because I did something super bad way back in the day, and God ain't gonna forgive me. So me, as a believer, preaching hell to them had no effect whatsoever. Because it's almost as if I was telling them something they already knew or they already believed. It's like they believed that there was a God and they believed that there was a hell. They just believed that I'm on my way there, and there's really, nothing I could do about it. So basically what I had to do was I had to change my approach. So I took it a step forward and said, I started talking about the grace of God and the love of Jesus Christ in a way that they really haven't heard it before in their circles or the community that they was at. And that's when I got their attention. Is when I started talking about grace of God, when I started talking about the love of Jesus Christ over hell. Something happened in them. Something happened in here. It's like their hearts softened. They were attentive. They wanted to know more. They were something did something inside. Every single time. Like, for a fallen world and for people who are hopeless, the cross and the love of Jesus Christ is what pulls them out of that mindset of hopelessness, I guess you could say. The only thing that can heal hopelessness is hope, you know? And so, to be honest, that is the reason why I decided, I'm like, yo, I'm going to go after the love of God so hard, and I'm going to preach the love of God so hard, because it's like I feel like I was seeing firsthand that truly the love covers the multitude of sin. It's like it really does. It's crazy, you know. There's two scriptures in the whole Bible that really displays the love of God, you know, and that's turning the other cheek and John 3:16. You know, most people think that these two verses are so cliche, or they jump right over these two verses. But I tell you the truth, there was this one guy at the court, and he was just like, yo, what is it? What makes you this way? Why you do what you do? And I was like, yo, you really want to know? Come here. And I said, yo, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten. And the amount of attention that came, like, I don't know what happened. It was like he was just so focused in, and all I was doing was talking John 3:16. You know, that's why I talk about the love of God, because I really believe that, you know, it really covers, you know. And at the end of the day, love really is who God is. In the New Testament, there's only 3 different nouns that the Bible calls God. You understand? 1 is love, 2 life, 3 light. Everything else is adjectives. Everything else is a part of God. Everything else is, you know, an attribute of God. But what God is at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, is love, you know, and that's who he was, and that's who he is, and that's who he always will be. This is the love of God. This is the grace of God, you know. Have faith in Jesus Christ and the things that he said, that all the things that he said were true. Everything in this book that is written down is right. That's why I talk the way I talk. That's why I preach the way I preach. Or if you ever come to my shows, that's what I talk about. If you ever been to a Bible study that I've held, that's what I talk about. That's Ovrground. That's what we push. Comment below if you have questions or whatnot, or disagree. Or, you know, subscribe to the channel, you know, support Ovrground Music. It's a movement, you know, we got a lot of things happening. Shout out to my homie Paul Gully. I don't know if I got him in my head, so you can see the video right there. You know, he's releasing a new single video, New Slaves. That's dope. I've heard it's really dope. So yeah, check that out. There's another video giving all those other announcements for Ovrground and new music coming out in another video. Right there again. There. So yeah, again, this is why I preach love. That's why I preach grace. You know, again, I don't shy away from hell. Like, it's true, it's real. It's not like I'm pushing it under the bed. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, you know, it's not how I lead out with my message. You know what I'm saying? It seems like people already know. Unless you come across the person who doesn't believe that there's a hell, then okay, now you gotta say it. You know what I'm saying? But for the average, seems like person in my community, alright? I'm not saying everybody else's, but in my community, these people just, you know, and yeah, I'm going there anyway. So I had to change up my approach to reach my community, and that's why I preach the reference. So, alright, cool. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do a spin around thing. I'm done, son.